my God, I'm getting dumber as I
Very
get older.
dangerous.
I just literally was outside and had to explain to a man what a podcast was. And I've never felt so
How
young.
old was he?
He wasn't old, but he looked like he was probably in his late 40s, maybe 50s. But he also, I don't know, he looked like, I think he was some type of Hispanic, and he was ESL. English was a second language. So I don't know
Yeah, like
if that was the
maybe-
first time, because he thought I was walking into his place. He's like working at this salon right here. And I was like, oh no, I'm going
You're
this
like, no,
place.
my hair looks good already.
Yeah, get
Have you
closer
noticed-
to the mic, dear.
My hair looks good already.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
did you
I'm
not notice?
good.
Like,
Did
my
you
hair
not-
is fire at the moment.
That's
so
the biggest insult.
I don't know why you would think that I need to go into your salon. Because have you
Can
seen
you
this?
not see?
I literally saw you because I came around the corner and I saw this hot blonde standing on the corner, and I was like, "Oh, that's a cute blonde."
I'm not even blonde.
then
It's highlights.
But you look
In
like
the
a hot
sun?
blonde in
In
the
the
sun.
sun.
And so I'm like, "Oh, that's hot blonde." And then I turn, and then you're like,
Helen.
"Hey!" And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's Candice!"
Candice, Helen. Oh my
Woo.
God. Paul, if you could just shut down the studio, we're gonna have a moment. No.
I mean, it's because I've never been a hot blonde. Never.
I've never been blonde. I mean, I've gotten. We have not even introduced the show. Every time this happens, you guys, welcome back to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. I am Candice Thompson, and to my new followers and listeners, thank you for joining. To my old followers, loyal people, thank you for always being there. If you are new to this podcast, I invite my friends on, and we talk about the challenges of being an adult, because it sucks most of the time. So if you can relate to anything that we talk about, we can make you laugh about it, then our job is done. If you haven't subscribed to me on all podcast platforms, make sure you do that. We're everywhere. Also on YouTube, if you want to watch the videos, go there, subscribe there, rate and review us on iTunes. And last but not least, if you haven't told somebody about the struggle and you listen to this regularly, tell somebody. Okay? It's real simple. Just be like, hey, have you heard a good podcast called The Struggle? Listen to it. It's funny. It's as simple as that. Takes 2 seconds. Now, if you are on social media, you can follow me at Jokes by Candice. On website-wise, if you ever do that, CandiceThompsonComedy.com for my shows. There's a dog roaming around, and I love him, and it's so distracting, but I love it. Anyway, also watch Lights Out with David Spade. Now, I'm going to introduce my very hilarious guest for today. I'm so happy she could make it, everybody. Helen Hong.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Oh, your dog just sniffed my butt.
Oh,
It's been a while.
It's been a nice butt. It's a nice butt. So
Thanks, Helen. Helen, where can everyone find you on social media?
I'm at funny Helen Hong because some other bitch named Helen Hong has my shit,
Isn't that the worst?
and I have
And she
yet
ain't
to
even,
She-
like,
oh,
she's not
no.
even important.
not important and like doesn't want to be important. The bitch on Twitter is the one that I hate the most because she has like 6 followers.
See?
And I reached out to her years ago to try to buy my handle off
And
of
she
her.
wouldn't?
Yo, she blocked me. She hit. I was like, hey, I'm a public figure. It would really help me out. Like, we can negotiate a price.
And she still...
And she hit block. And I was
Stop.
like, you bitter
Bitch.
bitch. Like, I'm going to get real famous. And I'm going to, like, call
And you're
you
gonna buy
out.
all the Helen Hongs. There can't
Well,
be any other Helen Hong out there.
I'm gonna buy every single one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like I'm gonna hire a hitman to like come after
to take
your
them
ass
out.
because you are a bitter ass bitch. Can you believe you blocked me? The one on Instagram is probably like 16-year-old girl who like doesn't care.
I'm appalled.
She actually blocked me, and so I can't even follow at Helen.
Yeah, you
Hong.
can't even. I can though. I can look her up and see what she's talking about,
Yeah,
which is
you-
probably nothing. She ain't talking about shit. I'm a troller now. Everyone that's got nothing to do today, listen to this podcast. Look up. It's just Helen Hong. That's her
At
handle.
Helen Hong on Twitter. She's
Troll
the
her
bitchy
ass.
one.
Troll her ass.
Mm.
That is a demand. No. Helen. Well, yeah, we were just talking. I haven't like seen you in so. I'm trying to think of the last time I saw you was.
It's been ages.
Was it? I want to say maybe it was at the Comedy Store, but I want to say maybe it was at Politicon.
No, I've definitely seen you since then.
I don't
'Cause
know.
That's like
I know that was.
year.
I feel like, well, for sure, years fly by. I feel like it probably was a year ago, if not a little bit longer.
Shoot. No, didn't I see you at the Improv like a few months back?
I don't be
I
at the
feel
improv like that.
No, you do.
No, I don't. They don't fuck with me like that.
You have.
I have performed at the improv maybe 3 times in the past 6 months. Maybe. That
So
might
maybe
be
it was
pushing
one
it.
of those times.
And then maybe it was. Helen. Maybe you could be right. You could be
It was
right.
either at the store or at the Improv. It definitely wasn't at Politicon.
At Politicon.
Because I can't even remember. I mean, that was so long ago.
The last one I went to was, all I remember is I saw Rosario Dawson. She was there.
She's amazing.
And I tried to get a picture of her back for my celebrity backs book.
You have a celebrity backs book?
I'm working on a celebrity backs book.
No, you don't.
I'm working on it. And I think I have enough. I have
Famous
quite.
backs? You know who I saw recently by
Who?
accident?
Who?
Katy Perry.
Oh, that's a huge one.
Huge one. So I'm addicted to this new. This is so freaking bougie. Hoo. I go to this place called Face Gym.
What is that?
It's a brand new trend.
Where you work out your face?
You work out your face muscles.
Oh, I know, but I do face yoga.
You do what?
Yes.
Tell me everything.
It's really simple. I mean, you could go on YouTube, but I'm sure it's like the same thing, and it's just silly exercises that you do for your face.
You're like,
yes, but luckily, because we are in the industry that we're in, we laugh all the time. So laughing is also smiling is a natural facial movement that you do. Like you can go like this, and it's working out your face muscles.
Crazy.
I know,
That
but
was
I do
crazy.
it. I do it. Yeah, I don't do it consistently, but
So
it's true. But
It feels crazy.
and you can feel it. Like, oh, my face feels a little bit tighter.
Well, listen to this. So I have like really chubby cheeks. I carry a lot of fat in my face.
So do I. Yeah,
And so I'm very conscious of
Same.
like how puffy my face looks,
Same.
and like if I have any salt before a shoot, like I'm
oh,
screwed.
it shows up immediately.
I just am I just am a puffer fish, and
Yeah.
so I'm very conscious of my face fat,
Yeah.
and so I'm always trying to find ways like. So I found this thing online about Face Gym. It's like the latest hot trend where they like you go. It's like a gym for your face, and a trainer works you out, and it is like. It's so funny the way they want to make it seem like a gym, so it's not relaxing. It's not like a facial. The lights are hella bright like a gym.
Shut the fuck up.
The music is like
Like it's a rave. They handing out Molly.
As
Like,
if-
what did I walk into? What is this?
as if you're at Crunch.
Yes, that's
You
hilarious.
know, and then like your trainer comes over and they're like in all black, like a training outfit, and they're like, "Hi, I'm your trainer
I
today."
need to
and I'm like,
experience
"Oh my
this.
god, this is hilarious!" But it's like salon chairs, like next to each other.
Were
as
there a
if-
bunch of people in there?
Yes. So I go and like, yo, it is not a facial. It's not relaxing. They work the
You're
shit
out
out.
of
Like
your
they're
face.
like, and then they're like they're getting in
So
there.
wait, they're doing the work, not you?
Not you.
Oh, that's even
It's
better.
wonderful.
That's
It's
even-
It's not like face yoga where you're like doing it.
And
No.
How can they? Okay, so they can. If someone else can work out our faces, then surely someone else can work out our bodies.
That's what Thai massage is when they like take your leg and they're like pulling it and you're like, ow.
They do that, but they're not gonna. I'm not gonna get abs from Thai massage. So
Nah.
that's what I want. Is I want somebody who's gonna do a face massage before my abs.
I mean, if you find a girl, text me because I'm on board.
She's like,
I'm on
inquiring
board.
minds want to know.
So I go to this place. I find it. It's fairly new. It's only been open in LA since November, and I'm like on top of it because I'm
You were the
super
first
conscious
one.
of my
Yeah.
face. So I go there. I have Dodger with me, my dog, and I see these two British girls because
Yeah.
they're talking like this.
Of course.
And
Of
one
course.
of them is a pretty blonde, and she's got this short, like platinum blonde hair, and she's got a baseball cap and big boobs. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a really pretty girl. I literally looked at her face and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, that woman's so pretty.
Yeah.
And she looks at my dog and she goes, oh my God, if my dog could see your dog right now, she would freak out.
Why?
And they leave, right? They pay, and this is all in the lobby. She's like 10 feet away from
Yeah.
me. I'm like, oh, that pretty British woman. Then they leave, and then all of the Face Gym people are like, oh my God, that was really her. I can't believe it. That was really her.
Who
I can't
was
even,
it?
like, I didn't even
Oh, that was
recognize her.
Katy Perry.
It was Katy Perry.
She was at the face gym
At
with
the
a British
Face Gym
woman.
with a British woman, and was like pretending to have a British accent so she would be incognito. And Candice is like, yo.
I thought you were just gonna say she was with a British woman, but now you're telling me she also was pretending.
She was the one that was talking to my dog. She was the one that was like, oh my God, if my dog could see your dog.
See,
Because
I
I'm like, I'm
already-
looking at her and I'm like, oh, she's really pretty and there's something familiar about her and she has really big boobs.
And she had, what's her hair doing? Is it long?
Her hair was super,
Super
short,
short.
like a boy short, platinum blonde. I guess she's rocking that lately.
Yeah, I haven't seen any
Like
pictures of her
super
recently.
short, white blonde, baseball cap pulled low, super pretty. But then I realized like Katy Perry has one of those faces that like if she's not done up, like
She looks like anybody.
she looks like anybody.
Oh,
like
for
she
sure.
kind of has just like a face.
She's a
but,
regular
like,
ass
pretty-
face.
Yeah.
Right. She's a regular ass face. Yeah. No.
She kind of does.
She does.
I mean, the only thing was like her big boobs.
Oh yeah, she's got great breasts for sure.
Great
For
breasts.
sure. And breasts can be deceiving. You'll see someone with great breasts and you just automatically just knock them up to like a 10. It's like, but no, when you just imagine the breasts weren't there. Just look at the face. and you're like, she's like a 7, maybe a 6. So
And because she had this British accent, I was like, oh, it's this British woman. No, she was putting it on to be incognito because she was with her British friend, and like she had put her name as Catherine.
oh, that'll throw them off the trail. That's like Clark
And
Kent
they're
putting
like-
on glasses. This is not Superman.
exactly
Bitch,
right.
not even your name is
Exactly
like
right.
Catherine anyway. Like, you
like-
shortened it to Katie. Change it to something
And they,
different.
I guess, like it worked on them because they didn't even realize it was her until like the woman was like working on her face and was like, "Holy shit, it's
Oh,
Katy
it's
Perry."
Katy Perry.
And then as soon as she left, they were like, "Oh my god, that was really her, and she's so gorgeous, and I'm so starstruck, and I can't believe it."
Shut the fuck up.
And I'm like, "Who was that?" And they're like,
Katy
"Katy
Perry.
And I'm like, "Really?
Really?
I didn't even recognize. I was looking
speaking
right
with
at
a
her.
British
She was
dialect.
literally talking to my dog, staring at me, and I'm like,
And
oh.
you didn't even realize.
Didn't even recognize her.
Now, are you a person that gets starstruck? Like, if you see certain people?
I would, if I had known that was Katy Perry, I would have told her that I'm a big fan because I am.
Interesting. See,
I am
I
a
am
big fan.
not.
She's super catchy. She's catchy as
She
fuck.
is catchy, and see, and that's the thing is catchy for me doesn't mean talented. And
Oh.
here's the thing: I don't think she has a bad voice. I just don't. I don't dig her music. And there are people who I love their voices. I just don't like their music.
Got it.
And like, I don't know. Are you familiar with an artist named Tori Kelly?
No.
I think she may have done one of those competition shows back in the day. Like, I don't know if it was The Voice or maybe, I think it was The Voice and not American Idol, one of those things. But she has a spectacular voice.
Yeah.
But her music, I just can't. Jennifer Hudson, I love her voice.
Yes.
But I don't like her
Same.
music.
Same.
Can't get on board. It's very like adult contemporary.
I totally agree with you.
Like, I can't get it. I can't dance to this. It's so old. It's very mature. And I'm like, she's like 38, 39. Like, you're
too
still young.
mature.
Yeah, I don't understand it. But
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I am not obsessed with Katy Perry, but man, when her song comes on,
Yeah,
I'm
they're
just like,
catchy as fuck,
okay,
for
like,
sure. They're
I'm
fun.
moving, okay.
I will give her that. She knows how to make like a fun
super catchy.
summer hit.
Same with Taylor Swift.
Absolutely.
Like, just so, like, I just automatically, like, my shoulders are doing a thing. Like, okay.
Absolutely. And I don't respect her either.
Yeah.
But you are right. I was just saying this the other day that, because I saw the movie Cats. Did you see
No,
Cats?
you didn't.
Helen.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Helen, because I wanted to make fun of it.
Oh my God. I heard it's so freaking bad.
Oh, it's so bad that you have to see it. Like, that's how I got drawn into seeing, because I already was on board because I saw how terrible the trailer looked, and I was like, okay, this looks so bad, I want to see it. I'm here for train wrecks. I'm here for all bad things. I just want to make fun of them, and I know it's going to bring me joy from laughing at how bad it is.
But for 2 hours though,
Yes.
I mean,
Oh.
I could do that. I'm here for that for like 10 minutes.
Oh.
But for 2 hours.
It's worth it. Helen,
Yo.
me and I don't know if you know, there's a comic named Keith Carey.
Yeah.
He's a writer also on the show. And so I was like, Keith, just random. I was like, you want to go see Cats tonight? And he was like, yes. And it was so, I mean, we're talking about that there's no story. There's no storyline.
There never was.
There never was. And
In the musical, there wasn't.
And when did you see that? When did you see it on Broadway?
Okay, so I have a whole history with Cats.
Oh, I need to know. And I'm
Okay,
so sorry
so-
because the struggles are going to be 7 minutes today. Because
Well,
I had
this
no
is my
idea
struggle.
this was all
Our
coming
struggle is
out.
Cats.
Is getting to the struggle.
Okay, so I grew up in New York City,
I did too.
and when you grew up in New York City, they take you to Broadway
Yes.
as a
That's where
field
I saw
trip.
it. Yes.
As a field trip. And I switched schools a lot. So I was taken on this field trip
To go see
3
Cats.
times. So I have seen Cats
You
3
saw it.
times.
Why didn't they switch it up? Did they not take a
Because
poll?
it's the only musical that's child appropriate. If you think about it, there's no plot. It's just people in cat costumes.
There was really one. That's true. There was a really bad one that my family saw when we were still in New York
What was it?
called Starlight Express.
Oh my God, I
Do you
remember
remember that?
on the roller skates.
Yes.
And the commercials would run round the clock for Starlight Express.
And you were like, I want to see this, and I don't know why.
Did you actually see it?
We saw it. We went to see it, and it was terrible. We hated it.
Oh
All
my
of us hated it. As a kid, imagine a
God.
kid hating something. That's how bad it was. We were like, what is this?
Yo, I saw Cats for the first time when I was like 9 because it was like a first or second grade field trip, and my mind was blown. I was like, oh my God, they're in cat costumes. And then there's one point where the cats come down the aisle in the audience, and I look over and there's a cat like standing right there, and I'm like, oh my God, they're amongst us.
Yeah.
They're in the audience. Like, I was mind blown.
Overwhelmed.
And so I was like, Cats was my favorite musical because it was the only musical I
Unless you
ever
knew.
seen.
Right. You
And I
had
had
no
seen it
point of
3
reference.
times.
Right.
So years later, as an adult, I kind of like have a moment of nostalgia. I'm like, God, I loved Cats when I was a kid. So I go and I buy the original Broadway
Soundtrack?
cast recording. Girl,
The whole recording of it.
don't you know there is a hella racist Chinky Chinky Chong song
What?
in the original recording of Cats.
Don't you love revisiting things that from your childhood and like that was racist as shit, and we had no
Racist
idea.
as shit.
Shut the fuck up! A chinky
Girl,
chongy song.
a Chinky Chinky Chong song where they literally say the word chinks
And who?
in the song, and
Were
the rest
there
of the song
Asian
is ding
cats?
ding 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 jinga ding 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 ding.
Then they bring out a gong. Boom.
Yes.
Were there Asian cats in the
Yes,
play?
because it was supposed to be. It was about the theater cat. What's his name? Gus the theater cat is reminiscing about when he was in this big play about Growl Tiger. The song is called Growl Tiger, and the Growl Tiger goes to and gets attacked by the Siamese cats. Ding 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 ding, chinky 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 chong. And like, there's literally the song is like, and there's one point where they go, "Oh, the chinks, they swarmed aboard." Like, and so now I have the soundtrack at the age of 21, and I'm like,
Wait a
the
second.
fuck? The fuck? Andrew Lloyd Webber, I saw this shit 3 times as a kid, and I loved it, and I did not know.
The stuff that we
The
grew
fuck?
up with that was like there's Disney movies. You know, like on
Oh.
Disney Plus, they had to like put warnings on some of the movies because of the racist content. Yeah. I remember being read a book this is after we had moved to Cincinnati, and in the librarian in our school was reading us Brer Rabbit, and there's a tar baby. The character's name is the tar baby. I mean, I think the book's name is Brer Rabbit and the Tar Baby. I'm not even kidding. It's in the title, so we knew. And as a kid, you're like, I don't know what a tar baby is. I don't know what that reference is. And then as you get older, and you're like, what the fuck? Right.
I mean,
So Cats had. Okay, so just to be fair, they
Super
cut out that part in the movie.
obviously.
That part
And
didn't make
even
it
like, I read that they've cut it from the musical, but like not until recently.
to just like a week ago. Yeah.
Like,
They were like, oh,
seriously.
we just now realized.
That's why when it was first announced, I was like, "Do they know about the Chinky Chinky Chong song?" And then when it bombed, I was like, "Ha ha, motherfucking
That's what they get. Well, I just read that they lost $70 million.
I read the same thing.
on this
I laughed.
in this movie. Well, of course, like it. I was like, I'm just so fascinated by this whole thing because it was like, how did they not know it was this bad? And I implore you, it's probably not even in theaters anymore. I caught it on the like. I was told by our writer's assistant, he was like, it is an experience, and he was saying that not in a good way. He was just like, you just have to see it because parts of it are good, like because performances. They had some talented people in
Right.
it, so it's like some of the performances are really good. There's no storyline, but you just have to go. I can't even explain what I saw. And so we were thinking. I went with Keith, and we met. The only theater where it was playing that was even close to where either of us lived was Universal City Walk, which I hate going to
Oh,
because
it's
parking's
a nightmare.
a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
End up going there. We show up in time to get the tickets, and we go to the front, and we're like, can we get 2 tickets for Cats? And she goes, no. She was like, we're almost sold out. You guys won't be able to sit next to each other. We have like 3 seats left, and they're not next to one another.
No.
And we looked.
They're
I said,
sold
I
out.
was like, get the fuck out of here. Give me my 2 tickets. And she goes, I'm not kidding. I thought she was kidding, because I'm like, who are these people that have sold out?
Hate watchers like you.
Yes.
People who are hate
Yes.
watching.
However, hate watching. And, there were people there who'd already seen it. There were people there who showed up with whiskers on their face. We're talking about what's going to happen with this movie. It's going to have a cult following, just like how Rocky Horror Picture Show.
They're going to have like spoons and things.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, although that's an entertaining movie that makes sense. This movie makes, and they didn't even try.
I'm waiting for people to show up at the theater with their cats.
With their actual cats.
Like actual cats running around the theater.
Oh, God.
In the theater for cats.
That would make me leave. That I would not stand for. I'm not a cat fan.
I just remembered you telling me a story about hate watching a Broadway musical with Joelle.
Oh,
where you were like in the top balcony and you guys were cackling and people around you were like hissing at you, being like, "Shut up, be quiet," and you're just like howling with laughter, hate watching.
I would like to, and I think that was at the Bodyguard.
Yes, it was the Bodyguard.
Now,
Bodyguard the musical.
I will say this. In our defense, we went there to really support this.
Because Whitney wasn't in it.
No, not even. We knew. Of course, she did. We were expecting Whitney's hologram.
Newsflash, Whitney was not in The Bodyguard, the musical.
So we showed up and we're like, what do you mean Whitney's not in this?
No, but didn't you say there was somebody that was good?
There was an understudy. And here's the thing is, well, I'm sorry. Okay, it was not the understudy that we did not expect the understudy. We expected to go see Deborah Cox.
Right.
And we both are fans of Deborah Cox. Right. She has an amazing voice. And we both believed if anybody can pull off Whitney Houston, of the 3 people that could probably do it, right, Deborah Cox was one of the people that could do it. So we went to go support this. Genuinely, it was not ironically.
You did not go to hate watch.
We did not show up to hate watch.
You just ended up hate watching.
We ended up hate watching because you are correct. Because we sat there and mind you, we're trying to be quiet. We're in a theater, and then the woman who's playing Whitney's role, who's supposed to be Deborah Cox, comes out, and mind you, we didn't do any research about this. All we knew is that Deborah Cox was in The Bodyguard, so we didn't know she was playing Whitney's role necessarily. We just assumed she would be, but we didn't look at any text or anything online to confirm this. So we show up, we're watching this play, this woman comes out, and we're like, to ourselves, independently, in our heads, this doesn't look like Deborah. And so we were like, maybe she's playing someone else.
Did you not open the playbill and then the white thing comes out? You know, like, not. It's bad news when you open the playbill and the white thing comes out. It's like, oh, shit.
That's what happened.
When you pick up the white thing and it says on today's performance.
The role of so-and-so will be played by, and that's what happened, but it happened too late. And the reason why we didn't open our playbills, I forgot to mention that we were already high. We took edibles. And we also had been drinking at the bar. So we're not present. But even in our non-presence, we were still realizing that doesn't look like and you don't understand, Helen, like the conversations that we were having in our heads independently about what was happening was the same dialogue in both of our heads. We were both like, wait a second. Is that Deborah Cox? Why does she look so light-skinned? Deborah Cox isn't light-skinned like that. God. Does she use skin bleaching cream? And these are our conversations. And then we came together and found, and then we were like, well, maybe she's playing another role. And then that role would come out, and it was another chick that maybe could have been Deborah Cox, but then we were like, doesn't sound like Deborah Cox. Finally, in the intermission, we opened up the playbill, and that's when the white thing came out. We were like, none of them is Deborah Cox. And so that's when we were like, fuck this. And then we got belligerent.
This is like, I will never forget you telling me that story because I wished I had been there with you. It seemed so fun.
We'll
that you guys figured it out over intermission and then decided to stay to hate watch the rest. And you're cackling like that while this poor person is giving it her all. And people around you are like, shut up. Shh.
To be fair,
you're being so rude.
We were. And to be fair, there was only like a handful of black people in there. And so what's also funny is that no one else probably even realized that wasn't Deborah Cox. Because they don't be knowing about Deborah Cox like that. White people don't be knowing about Deborah Cox. We've been knowing about Deborah Cox since like college. And so it was just so funny. I was like, no one else is as upset as we are right now. Like we were the only Deborah Cox fans who were here. So we were so disappointed. So they got what they deserved.
So funny.
Anyway,
I wished I had been there.
No, I know. We'll have to pick another one to go hate watch.
Oh my God.
And then I don't know what's at the Pantages right now. We'll have to look.
Frozen, the musical, because one of my neighbors came in.
Should we go?
I mean, I'll go if you want to go.
I think we should go. Joelle is here till I think Thursday.
Let's do it.
So let's do it. I'm not even kidding. I'm dead serious. Let's do edibles and go.
Let's do it. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. I wish I could bring my dog.
Can dogs come? Just put a wig on
Can
him.
I bring my
He's
dog
quiet.
in?
He'll be fine. He's being
Like
so
he would
good.
He's probably the only one that won't laugh through it.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's being adorable. I love him,
He's a
and I just met
sweetie.
him. Anyway,
Sweetie.
okay, we need to get into
Okay.
struggles. So let's make mine as quick as possible, and then we'll get into yours. How much
Okay.
time do we have? Jesus, mine's gonna be as quick as possible. So the only thing I've been struggling, well, not the only thing, but the one thing I've been struggling with this week is managing my emotions at the workplace.
Oh.
Because as comics, we have the freedom of being. We can wake up, when you're not working in a writer's room or have a job where you have to be on set every day. We have the freedom to wake up at like noon. We can be in our own places until we get to perform at night. So there's a lot of time for us to deal with emotions
out.
before we have to be put ourselves in front of people.
There's a lot of lead time to work it out.
Yes, and even when we're in front of people, unless we're headlining, because that's hard, because you're like, if you're going through something emotional and you have to headline, that's
Yeah.
difficult. But if you're doing like, let's say a spot at the store, or you're like at the improv and you're like, oh, I only have 8 minutes I have to do, not a big deal. I can hold in my tears, I can perform, and then I'll leave, right? So, but this, I was dealing with some emotional issues with just like, I don't want to get into, I can tell you after, but I don't want to get into what it was on the air, but it was something that it affected me so deeply in the writer's room that I was just not myself. I was not able to make jokes. And I was like,
Were you crying?
no, I
Oh.
am not going to cry at work.
Amen.
I will never cry at work.
Amen, girl.
You will never see me cry at work.
You can't. As a woman,
Yeah, you
you
cannot.
cannot cry at work.
Yeah, no.
Girls, do not cry at
Don't.
work.
I don't care how much you want to. And here's the thing, and I think we can make exceptions for like if you are at work and you get a phone call that someone died
Okay.
that you care about like that, we can make exceptions, right? We can make like but then you leave immediately.
Yeah.
It's like you find out that news and bounce.
Yeah.
But like if it's something like
If it's like you broke up with your boyfriend,
no, that is the worst.
That you're doing a disservice to all women when you
Yes.
do that.
And yourself, but mostly all women. It's keep that shit at home. We all get dumped, and I understand a lot. We all, but take the day off. Call in sick.
Mhm.
Just do not show up crying at work. It's not a good look. I remember having a day job, and there was a chick who was crying at her desk, and my immediate thought was, I don't fuck with you. That was my immediate thought. It was like, I don't fuck with you, and I don't know if that's bad or good, but I knew that I was like, this chick can't keep it together.
I'm with you because it does do, and I'm serious about this. It does do a disservice to all women because it's a
stereotypes.
stereotype.
Yeah.
It leans into the stereotype that we're just so emotional that we can't keep our shit
That we can't
together.
function.
Don't do it.
That we
Don't
can't
do
function.
it.
For sure. And it took me, I was in a mood. I was in a mood for like an hour to an hour and a half. And
But was it noticeable to the other people?
it was noticeable to the person that sits next to me because she's a woman. Everybody else in there is a man.
She's very intuitive.
And she's also, you can feel energy, right? Like
Right.
you can feel energy. If someone's coming in there and they're just like, I want to fight somebody, like you can feel that, or you're like, I'm gonna crumble.
Yeah.
You can feel it. But
Yeah.
also women were more intuition, and we can feel. I guarantee dude next to me had no idea. And I guaranteed all the dudes around me had no fucking idea. I guarantee. Dudes don't be paying attention to shit like that.
No, they
So we pick up, and she asked me, she was like, is everything okay? Because I was just more quiet.
Yeah.
I was more quiet. We're in a riffing session, and I usually am very participatory, but I was just kind of like so mad at stuff
Yeah.
that I was just quiet. And I was like, I got to get over this. And I did. All it needed was me to sit down and start writing like monologue jokes, and I was right back in it.
Great.
But in that moment, I was like, I haven't had to deal, because, as a comedian, I haven't, unless you're working in a situation like this, like you normally are just waking up and you're dealing with it.
Yo, for stand-up comics to take a day job is like a big
it's a big deal.
adjustment.
It's a big deal.
Just even having to be somewhere at like 9 or 10
Like,
in the
I have to
morning is
answer to
like,
somebody?
what?
And we be out at night super late.
super late.
Just to have a set schedule is very difficult to then have to be on. So it's a lot. But we've been in the room now for over 6 months now. So it's like I'm in the routine now. I naturally just wake up at 6:30. It's gross.
That's crazy.
It's gross.
That's like insane.
It's gross. But it's for a good cause. The show's great. So it's for a good cause. But anyway, that was my struggle this week. And it was like I haven't really had to be in a situation like that in such a long time. And it just reminded me, like, oh my God, like people who have to go to work in traumatic situations, and you have to deliver, and it's like you got to put that shit aside.
Yeah.
But as it is like, and also for us, we use our emotions to write and to create.
Yeah.
And so it's imagine for someone who's not in a creative position, like someone who just has a day job, who can't use that energy necessarily to create something that they have to produce.
Well,
for
I was
work.
going to say the other thing about stand-up comics is that we're very honest
Yes.
about whatever is going on in the world that we observe with us. That's one of the hallmarks of a stand-up comic is
Absolutely.
the honesty. And so if you are going through some shit, you work it out on stage.
Absolutely.
Right? And so it's a weird thing that people with day jobs have to like have a mask on
You got to suppress all that.
and just be like, no, it's fine.
It really made me realize, like, oh my God, there are people who still have to function. Like, I'm going to use this to make something funny out of it. But there are these other people that are like, I can't do anything with this. I just might shoot somebody. I'm going to use this energy to create a mass
now
shooting.
we know.
Yeah,
Now we know
seriously.
why it happens.
Seriously. It's suppressing all that shit. So I
Yeah.
feel bad, but that was my experience. And I really was like, had to navigate. I was like, because I don't want to act on these emotions and do something I'm going to regret. And as I've gotten older also, I've realized like I never act on emotions anymore. I always like let it sit, marinate for a few days. And if I still want to do what I wanted to do the first day that it happens,
That's smart.
yeah, always
Like
don't
firing
ever.
off an angry email.
Yes, don't. You guys don't ever do that. Don't ever act on emotion. Like,
Oh, I've regretted so many. Like, and send.
yeah, when have you ever been proud of what you sent when you reacted on emotion? It rarely happens. So just sit with it. And then if like 4 days go by and you still want to do the same thing, then do it then, because now you
Yeah.
had some time to sit with it. You've talked to people about it, your friends, they've given you feedback. And at that point you want to do it. But yeah, always just
What did you learn from that experience? Like, what are you going to take away going forward if you have to deal with that experience again?
I realized that if in the long run, because what my problem was also a work-related problem. This wasn't a personal issue.
Oh.
This is not a personal issue. And so to me, it was like, do I talk to someone about this now, or do I just keep it to myself and just let it continue as it's going, and then we'll feel it out, and if nothing changes 3 months from now, 4 months from now, I'll present it then, which is what I've decided. So it's like, to me, you have to weigh what's important to you. And and it's all perspective, and it is all, what is your goal? All of these things I'm weighing when I'm deciding if I want to talk to someone about what's bothering me right now. So it's just made me just analyze things more thoroughly and find out what I want in the long run. What do you want before you attack something?
So
and
just
so
step back,
look at it, talk to somebody,
good.
and see if what is it all in my head? I actually had a conversation with someone else in the room about it, and we had a very good conversation about it, and he helped me. And so it's like, also, I'm such a closeted person when it comes to, because I don't trust people. And so, and you know, you're in a work situation, so you're like, who can I really trust to talk about these things that are bothering me? And so, but this person approached me in a way at the end of the day that let me know that I could
They're
then
on your
come,
side,
yes,
yeah.
so I could come to him about this, and he gave me some really helpful information also. So it's like, also, don't necessarily feel like you can't talk to people that you work with.
And sometimes it's so funny that you say, like, is it all in my head? Because I didn't realize that when I read emails, I read them in a very hostile tone.
All of them?
If it's like, like I'm like ready to fight.
Like all the time.
On my laptop, like,
I like
what's
this. I didn't
motherfucker
know this
want?
about you.
Yeah, and I didn't know that about me. I thought people were
Wow.
just coming at me, like coming after me over email, and I'd be like, oh, rolling up my sleeves.
What
like,
does
oh,
he
this
mean
motherfucker's
by
like
this?
gonna get it.
Right.
And then I
Good
realized,
morning. What does he mean by good morning?
seriously. So then I was like saying that to my roommate who's like a very chill guy. Faraz Ozell.
Oh
He's
yeah,
my
no, I
roommate.
love her.
Very
I gotta
chill.
have him on here.
He's just like a very zen-minded person.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, at our kitchen table, I'd be like, can you believe this motherfucker said this? And he's like, you're literally putting all that
There
tone
was
on it.
no
There's
subtext there at all.
Yes.
You literally just
And I'm
created that in
like,
your head.
What?
What do you mean?
Isn't it obvious to you? And he's like, absolutely not. If I read that email, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, he just wants to know XYZ. And I'm like, oh, like, I didn't realize that I was putting a dark ass spin
For
on-
no reason.
For no reason.
But I'll tell you the reason. We all have PTSD. we all have PTSD from the way we've been treated before. So it's like
Mm.
if certain things kept happening to us and it's just like, oh, this is just how people come at me or this is how they perceive me, we put that on other people.
Yeah.
And so it's human to do that.
Yeah.
But at least, again, talking to someone and you have an outside perspective.
Yeah.
It's like,
Having
oh,
an outside perspective is really key because sometimes it is in your
head for sure.
Yeah. And I didn't realize, I thought that was just facts.
Yeah.
I thought like, oh, facts. People are coming at me an email all the time. These are facts. And then I get a second opinion and he's like, no.
Wait a second.
You're crazy.
Oh, I didn't even think that was a possibility. But you are correct. I am crazy.
So now I read emails. I'm like, okay.
Sit back.
Let's imagine for a second they're not coming
They're
at me.
not trying to start something with me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like, it's
We're growing up, guys.
Yeah.
This is what it's like.
Adulting.
Adulting. Isn't it fun? No. Not at all. Anyway, enough about me. We have 3 minutes left. No, I'm kidding.
seriously.
No, it's more. It's like 20, maybe. 20 minutes left, Paul. I think it's like 20.
Well, mine's like fat. Mine's like related to what you're
well,
saying.
let's talk about it. Let's just go. We'll keep
just
it. Yeah,
waking up. Waking
just
up in the
getting
morning.
out of bed.
Getting out of bed. Like doing normal things because I have a dog. Okay, so I'm a stand-up comic, so I travel a lot. I do shows at night. I'm an actor too, so I shoot a lot during the day.
You act a lot. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I've never been able to have a dog, even though I've desperately wanted one for 10 years.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just travel too much and like my lifestyle. Also, I hate little dogs.
Oh.
I fucking hate them.
Oh, see,
You
I
love
love them
them?
all. I love the only ones I don't like are medium ones. I don't like medium-sized dogs.
You like pick one or the other.
I'm like big or small. Yeah, I don't like this in between bullshit.
I
Yeah.
hate little purse dogs. Fuck them.
Oh, they're so cute to me. I just love tiny things in general. It could be a
Oh.
tiny anything, and I'm like, yeah.
No, those little like teacup chihuahuas with the
Oh.
little necklaces that are
I'm
like
not
this.
a
and they're
Chihuahua
like,
fan. I'm not a huge Chihuahua fan.
I hate them.
But like
They're
a
like,
little.
I'm
You,
like,
you don't like a little
"Shut."
Maltipoo? You
I mean,
like you
I
fucks
think
with
they're
a Maltipoo.
cute. I think they're cute.
Yeah.
But
You just
that's
wouldn't
not the
want one.
dog
It's
I
not
want.
your style.
I
Right.
always imagine myself with like a
big-
honking dog.
They're great. I love big
Like
dogs
a big
too.
ass dog. But those are the worst to have because I physically can't take them on the plane with me.
No, of course.
I can't, like if
Yeah.
I wanted to take this dog on the plane with me,
Yeah.
I would have to buy another seat for
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Because he's a 50-pound dog.
He's big. I mean, you can't even go to lunch today because of him.
Our friend
Joyelle
Joyelle is like
in town, and she's definitely allergic
allergic
to most things. to just air.
pretty much everything. Pretty much everything.
I know.
I was like, girl.
Yeah, no.
I was like, chances of you being allergic to this dog are
It's
100%.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I foster. That's how I get my dog yayas out. Is when
Yeah.
I have a chance. Like if I know I'm going to be in town for
Yeah.
a couple of weeks, I foster.
Yeah.
And I fostered a handful of times. And I fell in love with my first foster. And then he bit Faraz. He bit my roommate really bad.
What kind of dog was he?
He was a medium-sized mutt,
See?
and he had some sort of PTSD.
See?
And Faraz was like innocently like put his leg in front of him to try to get him to keep away from something,
Oh,
and he bit
no.
the shit. And it wasn't like it was like a.
It was like, did he need to get stitches?
Yeah, no, almost. He didn't, but he was bleeding. Definitely cut the skin, bleeding. Had to bandage his foot for like a week. Almost needed stitches. Didn't, thank God.
We don't know what these dogs have been through.
Yeah, and this dog was a 10-year-old dog who had seen some shit.
Oh.
So like, who knows what PTSD he was going through. So he had to go, and I was in love with him.
Wait, they killed him?
No,
No.
he had.
What do you mean?
I stabbed him in the face right then. I just took a knife and I was like, "You're done."
Just cracked his neck. Like, what? Ah! He didn't know no
I
better.
John Wick
Yeah.
that shit.
Oh.
No, yeah, I had to
he
go
had
back
to
to
go.
the shelter, and I was really. I
Sad
still
you were
think
in love
about.
with
I
him,
still
yeah.
think about him. I still wonder if he's doing okay.
And you think he doesn't know? You think Dodger doesn't know that you still thinking of having? It's like when you break up with a dude and your new guy. He can tell. He can smell him on you. He know what you're thinking about. He can't satisfy you like that first dog. He can feel that, Helen.
When we're cuddling, and I'm like, Mr. Oh,
Oh,
that's
I
not
mean-
even your
I mean,
name.
Dodger.
Oh, oops. Yikes.
So yeah, you have to take care of him. So you have somebody that
So-
comes at 6 o'clock in the morning.
So I have this. So I fostered, and then they say foster fail, which I think is a very negative thing, but it means when you foster and you fall in love and you decide to keep the dog.
Yeah, I don't like that term.
It's negative.
It's foster. You want the dog to get a home.
It should be foster, yay.
Yeah.
But They call it foster fail.
It's a foster win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't
Foster
understand.
win.
I don't understand.
Anyway, he's my dog now, and I realized that I've never had to take care of another being before.
Yes.
And yo, I sleep a lot.
That's the only reason why I don't want to have kids.
I am lazy as fuck.
Yes.
And it's like, it's a struggle. Let me
Yes.
tell you, it has been a struggle. I've only had this dog for a month, and I'm like bleary-eyed.
Yeah, I need help.
I'm so tired. I need a nanny.
Yes. No, seriously.
I need somebody to do my laundry.
Do they
I
have
hadn't done my
dog
laundry.
nannies?
They have doggy daycare. I mean, if
But-
you're real rich, I bet they do have
They
a
probably
doggy.
have someone
yeah.
that just comes
An
and watches
assistant.
the dog like the kids. Yeah.
You
If
get
they
an
don't have that,
assistant.
someone make that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have that kind of scratch yet.
Yeah, of course, right.
But I do. So now I've been paying a lady $15 a day
to come,
to come at 6 a.m. to walk this asshole because I'm not getting.
she's
up
like,
at
I'm
6
not
a.m.
getting up at 6 o'clock.
No, hell no.
Why
You're
does
gonna
it have
shit
to
in that
be
apartment.
so he just wakes up at 6? Is that what it is?
Well, because I walk him at 11 p.m.
yes.
and then I don't wake up again until 11 a.m.
Okay.
and that's too long.
Oh, you be getting 12 hours of sleep?
I mean, I don't. I fall asleep at 1.
So jealous. I'm so jealous.
I fall asleep at 1 or 2.
Yeah. That's normal. For
Normal comic hours,
and
right?
even I mean that's even early. I know comics that are up to like 5 in the morning.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
just-
not like that.
They're like
That's crazy.
nocturnal.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, no,
that's
they're
not me.
vampires.
1 or 2 is when I go to sleep, but like
Yeah.
I don't want to walk him at 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, of course. And especially when the winter time, you guys, it drops down to a frigid 50 degrees sometimes here.
Has your blood thinned? My blood has thinned
No.
so much.
I was always cold anyway.
Me
like,
too.
I've been, and I grew up, we were from the East Coast, so we should be tougher and we should be better. We acclimate so quickly to, and the cold out here is actually different than the cold.
It
like
is.
50 degrees here is not 50 degrees
right.
like in the Midwest or
You're
on the
right.
East Coast. It's different. And so there's a chill. But yeah, no, my heat's been on since November or maybe October even. And it maybe it's good. The coldest it's gotten is maybe like 43, 44 degrees. It's the coldest it's
pretty
gotten.
cold.
It is
That's pretty
cold.
cold.
I'm thinking about it and my nipples are getting hard. Just thinking about it. And it's 43 degrees? And I know people that walk outside in shorts and they're like, oh, it's warming up. Like, what, are you crazy? Yeah.
Great. People make fun of me on my block because I've been walking him and I'm wearing my like down coat at night, and they're like, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, it fucking is.
I'm so glad you say that because people say, but you're from New York. And I'm like, no, my blood. First of all, I was a pussy in New York. I was always freezing in New York.
Exactly. I was
That's
never
why
okay.
I moved here.
Yes. So
And my blood has thinned drastically since I've been
drastically.
here.
And it's I need to everywhere I go it's cold. Like in the studio, in the writer's room, you should see you would think
Yeah.
I work outdoors because I show up with scarves. I'm layered inside. They're like, Candice, I can't see your face. I can't hear what you're saying because you have a scarf like a muffle over your mouth. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, but you can breathe. I can see my breath inside. It's freezing in there.
It is. Is
And
that
they're like-
writer's room fun?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. But
It's a fun show.
It's
It
a,
seems
oh, thank
like,
you. Yeah, no, it's a super
it's a fun
great
show,
time.
and it's like it's run by a comic, so
He gets it.
Yeah.
And they just want a fun environment. And the showrunners are fantastic. Brad Wallach and Tom Brunel. They're the same guys who did Chelsea Lately.
great.
And so they know how to create an environment of just fun. And they've done it so well. But it's freezing. And then whenever I say, can you guys put the temperature up? They're like, Candice, this is the perfect comedy temperature. And you know what that means. When you go in a
Cold.
comedy club,
cold.
it's true. Like people laugh. If it's too warm, people aren't gonna laugh. They don't laugh.
It's
If
kind
too
of
low,
scientific. There's like scientifically proven things like people won't laugh when they're warm, and people will stop laughing at exactly an hour and a half.
Oh, I didn't
Did you know that?
So that's why shows
Exactly.
are 90 minutes.
That's exactly right.
I didn't know that.
At exactly an hour and a half is when people start to get fidgety, and like
Well, then
they're
how
looking
does
at their
Rogan? How does Joe Rogan
and
have
they're
a
looking at their
3-hour-long podcast?
Well, I mean, that motherfucker breaks all the rules.
He does, and his fans are there for it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that about the hour and a half. But it makes complete
Hour and a
sense.
half, they
That and
did-
liquor. They liquor people up and they keep them cold in 90 minutes. That's the recipe.
People have gotten it down to a science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. But I didn't know. They're like, no, we're not putting this temperature up because. Do you want to get the show canceled, Candice? If so, I'll put it up to 72 if that makes you happy. But until then, we will keep it at 68.
Yeah,
And
no,
it's-
it's true. Sadly, it is true. That's why I'm always freezing on stage.
Yeah.
But my struggle lately is just like adulting with a child.
You have a-
basically, I have a
it is a-
four-legged furry child.
Yeah.
And I've never had a child before, and I realize like what a child I am. That I'm like, I love to sleep in. Like if like I have a hard time falling asleep.
Yeah.
So even though I'm in bed by 1 or 2, it's a struggle.
you're
Like
not
I'm just
necessarily
like
gonna fall
tossing
asleep.
and turning. So
Yeah.
I'm not really asleep
Right.
asleep till
Right.
like 3:34.
Right.
And then I need to sleep until 11.
Right. Hi, Dodger.
And someone we know has to pee and can't let himself out to pee.
Of course, because he doesn't have
He
hands.
doesn't have thumbs.
He doesn't have opposable
So
thumbs.
he can't open the damn
Hi
door.
there, Nugget. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, that's one. That is the thing. Sleep was the biggest thing, deciding factor in whether or not I ever wanted to have kids. I was like,
I mean,
you mean I have to get not only am I not getting a full night of sleep because of this baby, I'm gonna be getting broken sleep, woken up in the middle of the few hours of sleep that I get to
for
have.
like a year.
Yes.
For more than a year.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I don't even know, but it's too much. Even if you told me I had to do that for 3 weeks, I'd be like, I can't do that.
I mean,
It's stressing me out.
It makes you crazy.
Yeah.
That's why you see some new moms and they have that like
Look of yeah, because they haven't
they're
slept.
just like zombie look.
They haven't slept, and it does not go away. And I say that because you just worry all the time when you have a kids. When you have
Right.
even when they're grown, and I say this all the time. My dad has not slept since me and my sister were born. He's been awake this whole time. He sleeps so infrequently, and I know it's because his daughter is across the country, and he knows that there's nobody out here looking out for me.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's
that your
very
dad's
sweet,
like
but
that.
it's also very like I would never do that to myself.
Are you the oldest?
I'm the youngest, so there's 2 of us.
And does your older sibling have kids?
She's got a grown ass. He just turned 21. She had him young, so he's a grown ass. He's 21 now. He's
Okay,
about to
so
graduate.
they already
from-
got their grand.
Oh, they're good. They
grandkid.
expect nothing of me.
Great.
They
That's-
expect. I told him my sister took took the bullet for me. Thank God, because I don't want to have a kid.
Me and my sisters, neither one of us have kids.
Oh, and does she not
and
want them
She
either?
does want them, but she
Oh.
just can't find the man to do it with.
I can't believe that. A smart, successful, pretty woman
Yep.
who can't find a man.
Yep.
And she's out here too.
No, she's in San Francisco, which she
Oh,
says is
It's
worse.
even gayer out there.
Yes.
Of course.
Oh
it's
my God.
worse.
I was like, first of all, I don't want to hear your shit because there's literally more men in San Francisco. The numbers are in your favor. And she was like, she literally screenshotted a picture of a conference call that she was on. And I was like, oh.
They're all gay.
I would not fuck any one of these 22 men in this room.
Oh, because they weren't attractive and
they
they're
were
gay?
either gross,
Yeah.
busted, or like super nerdy,
Oh.
or
It
like,
is like
straight off
that's
the boat
nerd
from-
central.
like
Yeah.
straight off the boat from India,
Oh,
like
yeah,
you know what I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
real nerd, like real
Real Silicon Valley-ish. Yeah.
She's like, could you see yourself fucking any of these people? I was like,
No,
nope.
you're right. But here's the thing, and I was just talking about this with Joyelle, is like, because, we're all single. We're all like, we all have so much to give. We all have so much love to give. We're all beautiful. We're all funny. We're all intelligent. We have stuff to offer. We're successful. And we're at the point where I was like, we're at the point we need to wait out marriages.
Yes,
We're in that age
We
where it's
gotta
like
catch
everyone we
'em.
know is married.
we got to catch them on the flip side
Yes,
of
and then we're
divorce.
just waiting them out for their relationships to just crumble.
Yes.
So we're in this weird space
I
of
gotta-
everyone that's in a relationship. Everyone who wants to be in a relationship is already in one.
I think I'm gonna find ones that I like and just start following them around, waiting for their marriages to end.
We should start finding them and then start wrecking their homes. Have you ever thought about being a mistress?
I mean, I'm kind of ready. Actually, a mistress would be the perfect situation for me because
I'm already on board. You don't even have to explain.
because like I
Need a
can only
full-on-
see you at midnight,
Right,
or
we're busy.
like I work until
busy,
midnight
right.
or like 2 in the afternoon for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. That's why I don't understand why there's so many female comics that are single, is because we have the perfect schedule for guys who don't want clingy women, which they claim they don't, but I think a lot of
They
them do.
do.
A lot of them need
They
it to feel better
absolutely
about
do.
themselves.
They want to be worshipped.
Exactly. And so someone needs to, they claim they don't want someone there to being needy, but they also want someone there stroking their ego
It's
a lot.
true.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true.
Like, I can't believe how many guys ghosted me because I wasn't texting them
Of
all
course.
the time.
Of course.
It's like they need to be texting all the time. I'm like, yo, I'm busy.
Yeah, I don't
I
have
do
time.
not have the time to text you every 20 minutes.
Right.
And they're like, oh, I guess you're not interested. I'm like,
That's not, no. But also, and then if you kept texting them and they could then use that against you, it's like, you're being too needy. But it's like I dated a guy one time who I wasn't expecting to be texting all the time. I was like, 'cause, I'm busy, I'm working. And this was years ago, but even then I was like that, that even more so I was grinding because I was like still working a day job. I was like still doing open mics and trying to make a name for myself out here. So
Oh.
I was in that. I don't have time to like be texting all the time. I'm trying to like be funny. And so he started texting me all the time, and that made me think, oh, he's really into me.
Yeah.
So I was just receptive to that, and I kept responding, and I was, every time he texted me, I would respond back, and I didn't want him to think I was like not interested in him or not cheating on him. So I would respond back like immediately, and it was distracting. I was in a writer's room at that time too for some
and
pilot.
You were taking time out to
Because I
text this
felt bad for
asshole.
him. I was like, he obviously is really into me, and I don't want him to think that I'm not into him. So let me take this time out and be insubordinate real quick, and let me send this text back because he needs me right now. And so I was doing that, but then it got to a point where he used it against me. He was like, you text too much. You're too needy. And I'm like, hold up. You are the one that set the tone for this relationship by texting me all the time. So there's that.
Don't even get me started on what men want versus what they say they want.
Yeah, no. You guys, men always try and say they're very simple. We're simple-minded, and we tell you what we want. No, you
Nah,
don't. Y'all be lying.
Y'all are
playing games.
complicated as fuck.
Yeah, and playing games too. And not that women don't play games. We're not here to man hate, but at the same time, come on, guys. You know what you do. You know what you do.
We have the only guy in the room back there being like,
Shut up, Paul.
he.
I will beat. He knows I'll beat him. So, and back to like the kid thing. Like, yeah.
Oh my God, I could not do it. I can't do it now with a dog.
We can barely do it with ourselves.
I can barely do it. I did laundry yesterday for the first time in 5 weeks.
Wow.
And
That's impressive.
kudos on me for having that much underwear.
That's impressive.
I do.
Every time I see underwear, I buy it. Because I'm like, there's gonna be a day where I don't feel like doing, like doing laundry, and I'm gonna be like, thank God.
I mean, I have 5 weeks worth of underwear for real.
That's brilliant.
And I've gone, and now I'm like on like yesterday I was doing my laundry while wearing Spanx because that's what I had.
Like,
That's
why
what
is
I had
Helen wearing a unitard?
That's what
She's
I had
just.
left.
Did you see her? She was at Trader Joe's. And just
Why
had
is she walking like? Why is she like stiff? Walking real stiff. It's because I'm wearing Spanx. Because it's the only underwear.
Because I'm wearing them as outerwear.
I literally, it's the only underwear. I'm not even kidding. I was like, okay, control tab. I can do this for one day.
Yeah. It's not that big of a deal, guys. All right. But now imagine. I think about the days where I wake up when you have those days where you can sleep in. And you're like, imagine if you had a kid and you're like, I can't even sleep. I have to get out of bed right now on my one day that I was maybe gonna. My sister was telling me about. I think it may have been our friend Kalista who has 3 kids, 2 twins, and then another one. And it's like the shower schedule. Like my sister will offer to go over there just like, you need me to come over so you can just like take a shower. And it's like, when you can't even take a shower.
Oh my God.
But you can't because if they're so young,
They'll
and
die.
the other ones are not old enough
They
to
will
watch the
literally
other
die.
ones. It's that simple. It's like I could take a shower or I could come out to a dead baby. I need to make a choice, and that choice is I guess I'll just have to stink for the rest of the day.
I mean, it's true.
Little things like that, which you don't even consider a luxury, right? It's just shower. It's not a luxury. It's like a thing I just do part of my routine. But when you can't do it, you're like, oh shit.
Damn.
On those days when because we get depressed sometimes, and it's like I'm not taking a shower day. I'm not getting out of my bed, and then you're like, oh wow, you start to miss that, and it's like when I could have the option of taking a shower and I didn't even do it. Because now I can't. I can't even take a shower because I got this thing here that I have to love.
Yeah, I can't. I'm just like, and then yeah, and they're not even. I mean, come on, they're not even that great. Let's face it,
Babies,
kids.
they're overrated. They're overrated, especially the thin ones. Give me a fat baby. I will love on a fat
You're
baby.
a baby sizist.
Yeah, the same way a dog is. Like, if a medium size, get out of here with your medium ass. Small or fat, but I do like a fat nugget. I love a nugget
Fat
baby.
babies are cute.
They're the best. When they're around that 6 month, 7 month, I don't be fucking with babies
but
when
I don't
they first
need.
come out.
I don't need a baby for more than 5 minutes.
No,
I
I will
really don't.
give it back to you very
Please.
quickly, and I won't even miss it. Take your baby back. Where's my phone?
I think this is like a female comic. I know very few female comics that want to have babies.
It's.
There's something about like that we have extra testosterone or something.
I think that is what it
Yeah.
is. I've never had a desire to have a kid.
me neither.
It's never been on my vision board. It's never. I was never that chick that was just like, I would see a baby. Oh, that wasn't me. I'd be
Same.
like, "What's up, baby?" Give the baby a head nod and keep it moving. What's up, baby? It's just a person.
Yo, baby.
It's just a person. You're probably gonna grow up to be someone I don't like. Why do we? I don't. Helen, we don't have enough time, but I have thoughts on babies. I have thoughts on people making people. I have thoughts on all of
Same.
it. It's to me, it's a
Same.
very selfish thing to do.
Agreed.
It's very selfish. And they call us selfish for not wanting to have kids.
I agree.
And I'm like, you literally just made a person and you're telling them to live this hard ass life because you wanted them here.
Yeah.
You wanted something that looks like you. Just to love you.
Oh my God! Not only that, but people ask me like, what I do to save the environment. I had no
I
children.
don't have kids.
So you're welcome.
And you assholes that are having like 6 and 7 kids, you're assholes. Know that you're assholes. I'm sorry, but you are. And if I'm shaming anyone I don't have fans that have 7 kids. Come on. If they're listening to me, they already know. But it's an asshole move. It's a dick move. I
It
know
really
someone.
is.
I
It's
know
very
someone who's just
selfish.
about to have a 5th kid, and I'm like, why?
No, you're
That's
a
not-
strain on society.
You're not. That's not necessary anymore. We are not living on farms.
We don't have a population problem. We have a population problem going the other way. Like, we're not going to have enough water for everybody in 100 years.
Right.
We're not.
Right.
So, you're fucked.
Stop having kids. More abortions, guys. That's a whole nother podcast. Helen, I have to wrap this up, but you've been delightful.
Thank you.
We need to do this.
Thank you for having me.
More
And my
often.
new furry son.
You don't understand. I love him already.
He's
Give me a dog. You take this
pretty
baby. Give me that dog. I'm the worst. One more time, where can people find you on social media?
At funny Helen Hong. Because this other bitch at Helen Hong don't go to at Helen
Yeah,
Hong.
don't go. But unless
funny
you want to
Helen Hong.
troll her, remember
Yeah.
that. Go
So-
there to make fun of her. No, don't
And
do that.
then-
Don't bully her. But like,
And then go to my website, helenhong.com.
yeah.
And I
And
do have that.
this is gonna drop this Tuesday. So is there anything
Oh.
you want to plug or anything you want people to watch?
I'm on a show on CBS called The Unicorn.
Yes.
I'm gonna be on a new show that's dropping on Netflix in February called The Expanding Universe of Ashley Garcia.
Watch
it's the
that.
world's longest title.
Watch it.
And I perform around town. I'm gonna be in Dallas, Texas. You got fans in Dallas, Texas?
I've never actually, maybe, probably from.
If you're in Dallas,
yeah.
Texas, come see me at Hyenas this coming weekend.
I'm international. I'm worldwide.
Yeah,
Helen.
yeah,
All
you
right.
are. Yeah, you are.
No, seriously. Helen's mad funny. She's super talented, and go support live comedy. She's great, especially women in comedy. She's great.
Yes.
Especially women of color in comedy
Who don't want to have babies?
who don't want to have babies. You guys, thanks for tuning in. This was The Struggle with Candice Thompson. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that on all podcast platforms, on YouTube. Rate and review us on iTunes, and tell somebody about The Struggle. If you're struggling and we're making you laugh and you're having a better time, pass it on, pay it forward. Thanks, guys. Till next time. Bye.